bits that come in, or do I commit 100% to Andrew?
I come in here saying I wanted a best friend and I found it in Paige. What more would I actually want?
Where does this leave me and you?
Welcome back to Romance Review TV with Lady T, and we got another recap video for you guys. Love Island season 8 episode number 21. And just to let you guys know, Casa Amor is coming up next week, July 4th. So I am excited, but I wanted to update you guys with that. But we have a lot to unpack, especially with Tasha and Andrew and this couple, hashtag Dami. So before we jump into this, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. If you like the video, smash the like button, and also feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section below. So as we remember from the previous episode, there was a recoupling ceremony. We saw some couples get back together, like Luca and Gemma, because they were separated before. And then some couples that were split apart and put with people because somebody was stolen. Now, in this particular episode, the morning pretty much started out with everybody talking about the fact that either some of them were happy to be together as a new couple, and some people were happy to be back together. Well, there's one couple that are still having issues, and that is Andrew and Tasha. And honestly, as much as everybody else is enjoying themselves, especially Jacques and Paige, as they play kissy face this particular morning, somebody else is happy to spend the nights in the same bed together, and that is Indiyah and Dami. And they talked about how, well, at least on her side, they talked about how they spooned. And then he was ecstatic about the fact of him not being single anymore, and that he's now in a couple with Indiyah. Gemma is happy also as well because she's now sharing a bed back with her boy, Luca. So there was, pretty much happiness there as well. On the flip side, there's this whole other conversation, which was hilarious. And it's these three guys, Davide and Charlie, and of course Jay, having a conversation about something that they have in common, which is Ekin-Su. Now, I found that it was pretty interesting in this conversation that he said that even though he don't want to be back with her, he probably could get back with her at any time. All I got to do is just say so. And I'm like, dude, I don't think you want to go back to that whole thing, but okay. So then Tosh is still stuck on what happened at the recoupling ceremony with Dami and Luca shaking their heads and everything when, of course, her and Andrew got back together. And the girls were pretty much saying, hey, don't worry about what other people think. Just do what you do. But obviously it is still bothering her. The conversation was also on the side with Andrew, where Dami and Luca were also talking to him about this whole thing. And pretty much Andrew was telling them how, she really don't want to be bothered. She's being distant. And the guys is like, look, maybe you need to explore other options. And you know what? I somewhat agree, because it's been hot. Like I said in my previous episodes, it's been up and down, hot and cold with those two. So Ekin-Su guy, Charlie, decides to bring her favorite drink with oat milk in it. And she was happy about it, at least I think. Because, he tried to make sure it was absolutely perfect for her. And she was, happy to have it. But the thing was, her facial responses was like, okay. So it wasn't, I don't know if there's a connection there. I think he's with the wrong person. He truly wants to be with Tasha. Speaking of Tasha, as much as Andrew told the boys a few minutes ago that he was going to give her space, he did it. So he's checking up on her again. She don't want to be bothered. She pretty much sent him away. And I'm just over these two. I really am. A little bit of what I see her playing games. And I'll tell you why I think that a little bit later, because she does have a conversation with Charlie and she's pushing Andrew away. Now, I know if you pissed off, like when she goes to have this particular conversation with Dami and Luca, why are you so pissed off with Andrew? Now, granted, he did bring it up to the guys and the guys are concerned, but she really took it hard. And she, addressed them saying, why are you guys so focused on Andrew? It's all about him when it should be about me. And I'm so upset. And she actually started breaking down in tears. And they even told her that Andrew was closed off to her. Now, that part I did not understand, because he seemed like he is sold all into Tasha. And, it's interesting that, she's doing this, because it just, I don't know. I've been not happy with this coupling because it's not consistent. And I'm not saying it's not consistent on Andrew's end. It's not consistent on Tasha's end. She already has had interest in two other guys. And she does this up and down, hot and cold roller coaster of emotion situation. And like I said, she did get into this really teary-eyed situation where Dami was consoling her. Now, to me, it looks like Luca was not that interested in the whole, let me console you, because I think he kind of sees what's going on in this situation. But at least Dami, he tried to make sure that she felt a little bit better about the situation. Luca did end up giving him a hug and all of this, but I'm not feeling this couple. So she decides to have a conversation with Andrew. This conversation pretty much talks about the fact how she don't think that they're on the same page, and maybe that they should explore other options. He's not really open to turning his head, but she's pretty much freezing him out at this point. So, if I was Andrew, I would be pretty much done. I mean, how much can you take for this girl to keep going hot and cold with you? I mean, and that's what the guys are saying. And as much as she feels that, she feels offended by what the guys were saying, in all actuality, they're kind of telling the truth. So then we got this other situation going on between Paige and Jay. Now, Jay broke up her coupling with Jax because he wanted to get to know her. Now, the biggest thing with this situation is that Jay thinks that he waited a little bit too late, because he spent time going back and forth with that whole Ekin-Su thing when he had an interest in Paige in the beginning, but because now they had solidified a deeper connection, her and Jax, that it might be a little too late. But she said that the door is still open. They talked about some stuff that they had in common, like both of their moms are in the same profession. So it was pretty interesting. We'll see. In regards to this conversation, we're back to this whole Ekin-Su thing where Jay is telling Davide that he probably still have a shot. And Davide is like, look, I'm done with that. I don't know how many times I got to tell y'all. I'm over it. Why are you guys trying to push this thing with Ekin-Su? And Jay was like, well, I think there's still some unfinished business there. And I'm like, please close that door. Don't even open that door. I don't care what you guys have, friendship or banter, which we'll talk about in a little bit later in this video. I'm with Davide. Let it go. So then they're getting ready for their little evening party where they're toasting and having drinks and whatnot. And I don't know. It's almost like they're on a daily schedule. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it's getting to be pretty consistent. I know what's next. So Dami and Jay have a conversation, and Jay is telling Dami about the fact that he really truly wants to go deeper in a connection with Paige. And Dami is like, well, yeah, you need to go for it. That's what we're here for, and stuff like that. But the problem is that, like Jay said, she's over there kissing all up on Jax. Jax strolled his butt over there with them, and there was this long, awkward silence as if nobody knew what to say. Jax came over there to pretty much break up the conversation to see what Jay was talking about, and Jay just stopped. He was just like, well, and it was so funny because the narrator made a whole type of joke behind it, but you can tell that the tension in that situation was thick. You can cut it with a knife. So then Gemma is having a conversation with Paige, and Paige is pretty much saying, I really have a deep connection with Jax, but I also have, a lot of things in common with Jay. What should I do? And pretty much Gemma is telling her, go ahead and explore that connection, see what happens. But the problem with that is that somebody, and that's how this show works, somebody might get hurt. I honestly think she needs to stick it out with Jax. Jay waited a day late and $1 short. Jax put in the work. And that man really, really likes her. And, he's really into her and compliments her. And, I kind of want to see that go and see that continues. But, hey, Jay want to shoot his shot. We'll have to see what happens. So then let's talk about Tosh again. Tosh has a conversation with Charlie. And this is what I was talking about, hot and cold earlier. Because now, as much as she pushed Andrew away, saying that maybe we ought to, see if we're maybe not on the same page, she tells Charlie that I really want to figure out what I have with Andrew because we really have a strong connection and I really don't want to, break that up. And I'm like, okay, either there's some serious editing going on or this girl is all over the place. How you going to tell Andrew one thing and then tell Charlie something else? Whatever. So this is the favorite part of the evening where Indiyah gets that text. I've been waiting for this since the preview from Friday, where her and Dami get a chance to have their first date. And as much as they are excited, so am I, because I was looking forward to this. And without doing the whole narration, I'm going to allow this to be done in a montage. So check it out. Okay, so that was part one. We got a second part to that whole montage. But this whole weird conversation between Ekin-Su and Davide was really weird. As much as they don't like each other, they like to play and poke fun with each other. So I don't know if maybe there is some unfinished business with these two and they just don't want to address it because it ended so abruptly, but it was weird. But here's the second part of that montage. So I absolutely love their date. I hope, they go for the long haul in this, with the show. Now, again, Casa Amor is coming up next week. They get back to the villa where they're telling everybody that this is the best date that they had, especially Dami. Dami was really happy about this date. So this was an interesting conversation at bedtime between Andrew and Tasha. Tasha actually admits, and people do this stuff all the time, when something feels like it's too good to be true and the person that they're with are treating them well, they self-sabotage the relationship. And even on the flip side with Jacques and Paige, same kind of similar thing with him. Now he's regretting putting out there that he really cares and he don't want to show emotion because she's talking to Jay. Now, she did try to reassure him in this particular moment that he has nothing to worry about, but it's getting under his skin because he really likes Paige and he don't want to put his heart out on the line and then Paige end up with Jay at the end of this, So I just hope that these two stay together. I really hope that they can work it out. And I think they can. The situation is that, I'm wondering about Paige because she is telling everybody that the door is open for Jay. So is there a chance that she could break his heart? So that's it for this recap. Stay tuned for episode 22 because there's going to be a big argument between Dami, Ekin-Su, and Gemma. So look forward to that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.